Thank you very much. Distinguished dignitaries, soon to be recognized winners of the Nabil Skill Heroes Award, and the amazing youth who are sitting here today. After a fruitful, I'm sure productive week of learning about skills. यो 3 वर्ष भइसक्यो म यहाँ आएको र 3 वर्ष नै मैले भन्ने कुरा उही नै हो। नेपालमा हामीले युवाहरूलाई हेर्दाखेरि एजुकेसनमा केही कमी देख्दिन म। ब्याचलर्स, मास्टर्स, पीएचडी पढ्छु भनेर भन्दाखेरि मुवा बुवाले पनि एकदम प्रोत्साहन गर्नुहुन्छ। नेपालमै पढ्छु भने पनि विदेशमा पढ्छु भने पनि। तर पढ्दा पढ्दै म एउटा सिप सिक्छु भन्दाखेरि कता कता भित्रबाट अलिकति आफूलाई पनि चिसोपन, परिवारमा पनि चिसोपन, समाजमा पनि चिसोपन आउने हो कि जस्तो लाग्छ। And this is really very sad. And that's why I go back to when I started college, when I went to the States to do my bachelor's many years ago. Like many youth of Nepal, even today, I was totally unskilled. मैले एक दिन पनि काम गरेको थिइनँ। स्कुलभरि के काम गर्ने भनेर ठान्थेँ। काम पनि गर्छ, पढ्ने हो नि मेरो काम भनेर। अनि कलेज सुरु भइसकेपछि मैले यसो वरिपरि हेरेँ, मेरो साथीभाइहरू सबै काम गरिरहेछ, केही न केही काम गरिरहेछन्, पैसा कमाइरहेछ। मलाई पनि लाग्यो ओ यो त अलि अनौठो नै भयो, मैले पनि केही काम गर्नु पर्यो भनेर I went to the student employment little cell that there was, and they asked me, so what have you worked in? Where have you worked before? And I said, I have never worked. And they were shocked. They said, Aina, ke pani kaam garechha ni, you've never worked in your life? I said, no. He said, nothing. I said, no, nothing. Ani alikati लाज पनि लाग्यो। अनि त्यसपछि यसो उहाँहरूले come back tomorrow भन्नुभयो। भोलि आएपछि उहाँले मलाई एउटा काम दिनुभयो। Since I had no experience, never worked, my work was, हाम्रो सागा भन्ने स्टुडेन्ट क्याफेटेरिया थियो। त्यो स्टुडेन्ट क्याफेटेरियामा भुइँ पुस्ने काम मेरो थियो। Most simple job. Put wet floor sign, dip mop in bucket, wipe, rinse mop, wipe, rinse, move to next spot. And I got minimum wage for this. काम त कामै हो भन्न ठाने, गएँ काम गर्न लागेँ। Around the second day of working, while I was mopping the floor, I saw 2-3 हप्ता भएको थियो कलेज सुरु भएको, बल्ल तल्ल साथीहरू बनेको थियो। मेरो साथीहरू हिँडेर आइरहेथे स्कुलको क्याफेटेरियामा खानालाई। I looked at them and I saw them look at me, and I wished that the floor opened and ate me up. किनभने मलाई लाज लाग्यो। किन म के काम गर्दै थिएँ? म भुइँ पुस्दै थिएँ। They all said, hi Anil, hi, you got a job, see you in the evening. It was Friday, and every Friday we met at a pub, I still remember, called Odds Cafe. उनीहरू गए, खलखल पसिना आयो मलाई, काम त सिद्धाउनु पर्यो, काम साम गरेँ, क्लास गएँ, कोठामा गएँ र भन्ठाने आज त म जाँदिनँ यिनीहरूलाई भेट्नलाई, के भन्छन् होला। यस्तो कलेजमा भुइँ पुस्ने मान्छेसँग हामी साथी बनेछौँ भनेर उनीहरूलाई कति गिजाउँछ होला मलाई। So I just sat in my room for a while and thought, hey, तेरिका यहाँ 4 वर्ष बिताउनु छ, यहाँ लुकेर त बस्न सक्दिनँ, जा जाऊ न, जे भने पनि अब सहनु पर्ला भनेर। So I got up and I went to Odds Cafe, a bit later than them, they were all there already. And they said, hi, sat down, and they were talking normally. अनि मलाई उकुस मुकुस हुन लाग्यो, मेरो त्यो भुइँ पुस्ने कामको बारेमा त कुरै गरेन उनीहरूले। अनि एकछिनपछि मैले, excuse me, just 1 second, I know you all are dying to say something, so why don't you just bring it out and let's get it over with. And they looked at me and said, what? And they said, no, you all saw me. They said, oh yeah, congratulations, drinks are on you, man, you got a job. And I said, yeah, but you all saw what I was doing, I was wiping the floor. They said, yeah, great, you got a job. And then they saw the confusion in my face, and I saw that what is happening? And one of them said, excuse me, I think there's a bit of confusion. Do you think that we are going to make fun of you because of what you were doing and what your job was? And I said, yeah, I was wiping the floor. And then they asked, did we ever ask you how big a house you live in, what car your parents have, how much money your family earns? Anil, we're not your friends because of your wealth. We're your friends because we like you and we have similar interests and we like hanging out with you. So whether you wipe the floor or make nuclear missiles, it doesn't really matter to us. Why should it matter to you? They asked me. And that is when I learned about what dignity of labor was. And that, my young brothers and sisters, is what I want to tell you. हामी हाम्रो काम होइन, तर हाम्रो समाजले हामीलाई हेर्दाखेरि हाम्रो काम जे छ, हाम्रो भिजिटिङ कार्डमा जे डेजिग्नेसन छ, त्यसले हामीलाई तोलमोल गर्छ। ब्याङ्कको सिइओ भनेपछि त यो ठुलो मान्छे, राम्रो मान्छे, गजबको मान्छे होला, जुङ्गा लामो भए पनि नभए पनि। तर जुन भाइ बहिनीले हामीलाई यहाँ चिया दिनु भइरहेको छ, मानवतामा उहाँ मभन्दा धेरै राम्रो हुन सक्नुहुन्छ। तर हामीले के गर्छौँ? कत्रो मोटर चढ्छ मान्छे, उसको कत्रो तलब हो, उसको भिजिटिङ कार्डमा के डेजिग्नेसन छ, त्यसले हामीले तोलमोल गर्छौँ। First, move away from that. Neither you nor anybody you know is defined just by the job they do. They are much more than that. Look at them for who they are as a person, not what they do. And when you are able to do that, then you will never be ashamed to do any job in the world. हाम्रो समाजमा म कार्पेन्टर बन्छु, म बिजुलीको काम गर्छु, म बरिस्टामा काम गर्छु भन्दाखेरि हे यति पढाएको छु, कहाँ हो र? त्यो अनिल शाहको कुरा सुने होइन? ब्याङ्कर बन, इन्जिनियर बन, डक्टर बन। होइन, म फोटोग्राफर बन्छु, म फोटो खिच्न चाहन्छु, म थङ्का पेन्ट गर्छु, मलाई गिटार बजाउनु मन लाग्छ, म गिटार बजाउँछु। है के कुरा? खुर्क। I remember Paras Kharga saying, there must be hundreds of Paras Khargas who were given a tight slap when they went to play cricket and told to go and study their maths. And they're now average engineers or bankers, while they would have been extraordinary cricketers. How sad would it be if everybody in Nepal wore a suit and tie and worked in a bank? The first thing you must do is look inside you. Look at your own core competencies, your strengths. Not mine, not your parents, not what society wants you to be, but yours. Are you good at mathematics? Are you good at communications? Are you good at language? Are you good at art? Look inside you. भित्र झाँकेर हेर्नुस्। मलाई बच्चादेखि नै के गर्न मन थियो त? के गर्दाखेरि म रमाउँथे त? र आफ्नो जिन्दगीको बाटोमा त्यही धारा समातेर अगाडि बढ्नुस्। Because it is your life, not your parents, not your brothers and sisters, and definitely not mine. If you want to be like me at the best, you may be like me. But you could be a much, much better somebody else. And that somebody else is you. Why do you want to let Anil Shah be the hero of your life? Don't you want to be the hero of your own life? Don't you want Anil Shah to sit there and look at that girl who was doing that etching and said, "Baaf re baaf, babal satita." Or the girl who made the vlog and say, "Wow, I'm trying my hand at vlogging also." And learning. Look inside you at your core competencies, at your core strengths, and then find a skill. सिपबाट नलजाउनु होला। हामी भन्छौँ युवाहरू हाम्रो देशको भविष्य हो। भविष्य होइन, यहाँहरू हाम्रो वर्तमान हो। You are not our tomorrow, you are our today. But you are our today only if you are able to grab who you are and not try to emulate who somebody else is. सानोदेखि नै मैले हाम्रो नेताहरूले हाम्रो नेपाललाई स्विजरल्यान्ड बनाउँछु, सिङ्गापुर बनाउँछु भनेर सुनिरहेको छु। जहिले पनि स्विजरल्यान्ड बनाउने, सिङ्गापुर बनाउने हाम्रो नेपाल त्यस्तो हुन्छ भनेर हामी पनि वाह सिङ्गापुर बन्छ रे, स्विजरल्यान्ड जस्तो हुन्छ रे। I want to share a story with you. Me and my wife got married and we decided not to have a child for some time. बिहा भएको पहिलो दशैंमा टीका थाप्न गयौँ. Most of us go for दशैंको टीका with our elders, people we see once a year. So मेरो बाजे पर्ने जस्तो, बाजे बजे पर्ने जस्तो टीका. मेरो बिहा ओ ल ल ल. Second year बिहा डाँडा काँडा डाको सन्तानले. Third year अनि सन्तान छैन हजुर. Fourth year सन्तान छैन. Fifth year looking at the टीका यसमै केही मेरो आशीर्वादमै केही कमी भयो कि के हो यसको चाहिँ भनेर. Finally, we decided to have a child. And I was blessed because as a father, I wanted a daughter. I wanted one child and I wanted a daughter. And God is great. He blessed me with an amazing daughter. So I was so happy. daughter was young in Dasai, so we couldn't take her along. But I told my father and mother, Buddha lai ta ma bhanne wala छु नि यो वर्ष त. So we went again and he looked, Santan. Hazur, Santan bhayo ni. Eh, budai, Santan bhayo re. And then he looked at his wife and he looked at me and he dhapped me. And he said, Tero ta chhora bhayo hola ni. Tero ta chhora bhayo hola ni. I was so happy, overjoyed. I said, Haina, Hazur. Mero ta chhori bhayo, chhori Hazur. I saw his face fall. And he said, Eh, chhori. And he looked at his wife. And by the time he looked at me, my ears had become red. There was sweat on my forehead because I had seen how disappointed he was that I had a daughter. And he saw that I was getting very angry. And my father thought, "Ele chai aba yo buda ko bangara khasaउने bhayo." And then he smiled, dhapped me again and said, "Kehi chaina, kehi chaina. Tero chori ta chora jastai hola ni. Tero chori ta chora jastai hola ni." And I folded my hands and I said, "Risani maaf hazur, euta kura binti takrau. Risani maaf hazur, euta kura binti takrau." And he said, "Bhan." And I smiled, looked him in the eye and said, "Hazur, मलाई मेरो नेपाल, सिंगापुर र स्विट्जरल्यान्ड जस्तो हैन, जति सक्यो राम्रो नेपाल चाहिएको छ र मेरो छोरी छोरा जस्तो हैन, जति सक्यो राम्रो छोरी चाहिएको छ." And that is what each and every one of you needs to do. You need not to try to be me or anybody else, but you need to try to be every day the best version of you. र त्यो गर्नलाई आफ्नो एउटा सिप समाउनुस्. We have a lot of educated but unemployable youth in this country. म अचम्म पर्छु. My nephews and nieces who are going to Australia, जो एक दिन पनि काम गरेका छैन. Suddenly I see them in a barista training institute. And I said, किन यो के भइरहेछ? हैन, हामी बरिस्टा बन्न लाग्छौँ. किन भने अस्ट्रेलिया गयो भने बरिस्टाले चाहिँ $15 कमाउँछ अरे घण्टाको. अनि यत्रो वर्षसम्म यहाँ किन नगरेको त त्यो काम? यहाँ त लाज लाग्छ गर्नलाई. एक काम गर्नलाई किन लाज लाग्छ हामीलाई? I started my job as an assistant with 3,500 rupees as my salary. मलाई त्यो बेलामा लाज लागेको भएदेखि अमेरिका, इन्डिया, संसारमा पढेर आएर 3,500 रुपियाँको salary, when at that point of time someone could have called someone and got me a GM, senior manager sort of job somewhere in some government corporation. It doesn't exist anymore. तर मलाई एउटा मन के थियो भने आफ्नै खुट्टामा उभियौँ, आफ्नै पसिना बगाउँ. And आजो the skill heroes that we'll be recognizing are people who have just done that. In an array of fields, they have just done that. When they come up and they're introduced, whether they're doctors or artists, whether they're in business or in social work, you will see how phenomenal they've become. They are my mentors, people I have looked up to in the different fields of theirs. Not because I wanted to be like them, but because I wanted to always learn from them. Learn the best that they had, put it into my life, and become the best version of me. Chori jasto chora haina, Singapore jasto Nepal haina. I want each and every one of you to learn from our skill heroes, to be the best version that you can be, just like each of them have become the best version of who they can be. They are inspirations to our nation, true leaders in every sense. And the reason we recognize them, and we've started to recognize them, is किनभने यो अन्धकारमा जुन हाम्रो देश छ, त्यसमा केही उज्यालो चाहिन्छ. र उहाँहरू हो त्यो मैनबत्ती जसमा जो बलिरहेको छ, जसले उज्यालो दिन सक्नुहुन्छ. र उहाँहरूमा एउटा विशेषता के छ, त्यो मैनबत्तीले यहाँहरूको हातमा भएको मैनबत्ती जलाउनु उहाँ हिचकाउनु हुँदैन. They want to light the candles in your hand as well, so that together we can brighten up this place we call our home, this place we call Nepal. भुइँ पुस्दाखेरि म लजाएको, आज मलाई लाज लाग्छ म किन लजाएँ भनेर. आज म जो छु त्यही भुइँ पुस्दाखेरि जे सिकेको थिएँ त्यहीबाट सुरुवात भएर यहाँ छु. So whatever it is that you want to do, have the courage to step up and do it. Not because what you think society will say or your parents will say or your friends will say, but because it is what you want to do. It is your life. And at the end of the day, when you close your eyes, Do you want to just think मुवा बुवा कति खुसी, दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनी कति खुसी, समाज मलाई हेरेर कति खुसी, तर आफूले आफूभित्र झाँकेर हेर्दाखेरि खोक्रोपन. We have a doctor amongst us who could be anywhere in the world, earning many times more in euro and dollar than he does here. But the satisfaction that he gets from bringing vision to the eyes of people who never thought they would see again is something that gets him up and going every day. I am his patient. Let me tell you, at a very young age, while doing a normal medical eye checkup in America, I found out I had glaucoma. And I was shocked. And I came back, and my father was a doctor, and everyone was shocked. Glaucoma, for those who know, unlike cataract, cannot be operated. It degenerates and you get blind. Usually you get it at an old age, so you die before you get blind. But when you get it young, people get worried that you may go blind before you die. So my dad said, go to Shankar Netralaya, which is this huge eye hospital in Chennai. Like a factory. I went there, saw everything, and finally the person who set it up, because of my father, met me and looked at all the reports and said, whatever, and said, why did you come here? In Nepal, if you were to get one disease, you're fortunate you got an eye disease, because I have someone who I consider my guru, who is going to be your doctor from now for the rest of your life, and that's Dr. Rohit. Go to him, and he will take care of you forever. And from then to now, all is good. And with the eyes that I have and the vision, I get to look at amazing pieces of art made by another skill hero of ours. Amazing creations, which again, if he had chosen to go to New York or Mumbai or Beijing, I mean, he would be riding in a Rolls Royce, I'm sure. But he chose to stay here, to stay connected with all of us, to stay connected with our culture, to stay connected with our arts, and continues to paint, continues to inspire us all with his amazing work. We have someone from tourism who, despite everything else and anything else, is still plodding along. Someone who's done inspirational social work throughout her life and continues not only for humans but for animals as well, to do what she can and what her team can. We have amazing, amazing heroes here today for all of you to learn from. Yet again, don't try to be like them. Try to learn from them and try to be the best version of you. That is what I say. Because when you go back, my young brothers and sisters, bhais and bainis, and you say, "Ajo to Anil Shahले gajabko kura garyo ni," to your parents, they'll say, "A resume this euta banker bannalai." Have the courage to say, "Aina mua bua, मैले सिकेँ धेरै, तर म अनिल शाह बन्न चाहदिनँ, म आफू जो हुँ त्यही बन्न चाहन्छु." So once again, thank you so much, everyone, for participating in this amazing week of skills. Thank you so much with folded hands to the skill heroes for accepting this honor that we're bestowing upon you, and for agreeing to be the inspiration of so many youth all across the country, as you have always done. We are truly, truly privileged to be a part of this. Nabil Bank believes this is not an expense for us, this is an investment. किनभनेदेखि यहाँहरू सबै आएर नाबिलमा जागिर खायो भनेदेखि त इट इज नट एन इन्भेस्टमेन्ट, तर यहाँहरूले आफूले जे गर्ने हो त्यही गर्नुभयो भने हाम्रो अर्थतन्त्र झन् मजबुत हुन्छ, हाम्रो समाज झन् मजबुत हुन्छ, हाम्रो देश झन् मजबुत हुन्छ, र त्यो सबै हुँदाखेरि हाम्रो नाबिल ब्याङ्क पनि झन् मजबुत हुन्छ. So we look at you, as I say, not as our future, but as our present. You are not our hope and our aspirations, but you are our reality. We hope that many of you will continue to live here amongst us. But even if you don't, wherever you go, wherever life takes you, don't ever forget Nepal and all of us who are back here waiting for your return. Saying that, once again, I'd like to congratulate and thank from the bottom of my heart all our skill heroes for accepting. And I would like to thank everyone who participated in this amazing skill week for taking the time, and I certainly hope that it has been of value to you. Once again, I end. भुइँ पुस्ने हो या जे काम गर्ने हो, सिपबाट कहिले पनि पछाडि नहट्नुस्, सिप सिक्नेबाट कहिले पनि पछाडि नहट्नुस्. एउटा कागजको डिग्री बोकेर दङ्ग नपर्नुस्, त्यो कागजको डिग्रीसँग म के काम गर्न सक्छु भनेर त्यो भन्नु सक्यो भनेदेखि त्यसबाट सन्तुष्टि लिनुस्. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.